Hey guys, welcome back to All About Mining. So today, while we're doing our pre-trip inspection, we noticed that one of our U-joints is busted right here. And so what we're gonna do is we're gonna remove these tires, these wheels, and get to access our U-joints, make it a little easier to get to them. And I'm gonna show you the tools and everything we need to go ahead and get this replaced so we can get this thing back on the road. It's very important that you make sure you do your pre-trip. If I wouldn't have caught this, it could have caused a horrible accident. If the U-joints break, the suspension on this side will completely fail and your tires will shift and your whole trailer will walk sideways, possibly causing you to run into somebody, possibly causing you to tip over even, and cause just a horrible accident. So make sure you always check your U-bolts when you're doing your pre-trip. You can see how this U-bolt right here comes down and has the nut at the bottom. This one comes down and is broke right in there. Doesn't even go through. On the other side, you can see it's there, but not on this side. All right, so sometimes they'll break here. Most often they'll break right here where the stress is. Sometimes they'll break in other spots, you know, up on top or whatever. But it's very important you check these and make sure that they're not broken. You could even tell there's some shiny metal right here that indicates that this thing broke recently and has shifted this whole suspension system. So along with changing out these two U-bolts, I'm going to change this one as well because there was extra stress and torque on that while this one was broken. So make sure you change both of those. So we want to remove these tires, and I'll show you the equipment that we need for all this. Obviously you need your jack, some jack stands. I have my 1-inch impact tool. The 33 is what you need to get your wheels off, and the 41 is the millimeter is what you're going to need for your U-bolts. Those nuts on there are 41 millimeter. I always work with my gloves. Make sure you put your jack stands under there as well. That way you keep it nice and safe. That way this thing doesn't accidentally move on us. So we're gonna get this thing jacked up. So we have it jacked up, and I'm gonna go ahead and take these wheels off now. So let's go ahead and get that done. Now we have much easier access to our U-bolts here. We could even take off this set of wheels, which I'm going to because I'm going to rotate the front to back anyways. The front wheels typically wear down a lot quicker than the rear wheels, so we're just going to rotate those anyways just to save life. But we're getting to where we need to access this. What I've noticed is I probably don't have enough clearance here to use my impact gun, so I'm going to raise this up almost as far as I can just to see if I can get the clearance for my impact gun, or else I'm going to have to figure out a different way to get those nuts off. We got a ways to go. All right, so we had to do quite a bit of blocking. Make sure we have our jacks both on one side. I know it looks like it's super tipped, and it is. The ground is a little unlevel here, so when I started jacking this up originally, everything slid to the right. So I'll show you that real quick. Yep, that's why it's important you have jacks. All right, jack stands to make sure that you catch that stuff. Another good reason why you don't take off both sets of wheels. So when it fell, obviously it fell on these ones. Helped to brace it along with the jack, so didn't do any super damage, which that could have been bad. But here we have everything jacked up, and finally I got enough clearance there to get my impact under there. So let's go ahead and get this taken care of. There's the broken U-bolt. We're going to replace both because this one has some extra torque on it because this one was broken. So let's get them both replaced. With all the torque and everything that's been put on these, they're actually flared out now. They used to be straight, and you'll see with the new ones just drop in straight, but because of how these have been used, the bottoms are flared out. So it's going to be a pain to get these out. Got that one off. Like I said, it was because of the stress and everything on it, it's bowed out a little bit. That's why it's so hard to get off. Here I'm going to show you guys the new one. I'm going to put it on the table so you can see what I'm talking about when I say it's bowed out. So here's the one we just took off. And if I line this bottom up perfect, you can see how this bowed out because of the stress and everything on there. All right, that's the one that's not broken either. Let's grab the other one. All right, look at that. This is straight. Look at how bowed out that is. That stress on those things. So it's a good idea when one breaks, you change both. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and change both. You can see that the new one is a little extra long. So we'll see if we have to cut this or not, depending on how far in we can get our socket. All right, right here we have our bushing. You know, it's probably a good idea to replace this whenever you get in here, but I'll be honest with you, I need to get this thing back on the road, and this doesn't look terrible. So you can open it up and kind of see how it is, but looking around it, it's not horrible. So could use another one, a new one, but you know, like I said, not the end of the world. We'll go ahead and reuse this, but we'll just get this cleaned up so it's ready to roll for tomorrow. Keeping in mind, when we put this back together, you can see, yeah, we got a bunch of stuff in here, but you can kind of see right here the mark where it should have been. So that's what I'm going to use to line this back up, both sides here. Okay, I'll just clean this out with a brush real quick. All right, we're just going to slide our first one through. And we get our second one through. take our bottom. I'm gonna get this up in there. And our nut. Make sure you don't cross thread that thing. Before I get it even hand tight, I'm going to get the other one started and then get the other bolt going as well. As I'm hand tightening these, I'm just trying to make sure that this goes up even together. So as much as possible. That's pretty close. Now before I tighten these anymore, I want to make sure this whole unit is where I want it in place. Now these little metal shims in here. This one was sliding out, so I'm pushing it back this way. Alright, so that is about where I want it. So now we're going to see, we're going to snug this up as much as we can, but we're probably going to have to cut this because our socket's not going to go all the way up there. That's as high as our socket goes. So we need to cut those. So let's go get the grinder. All right, we got all those cut. Now we're gonna tighten all these up. Alright guys, so we finally got our U-bolts changed out. So we got our new U-bolts on here. Had to cut them, you guys saw that. Had to cut the length of them so we can get our socket up on those. So our problem has been fixed. We still obviously have our tires off. I'm not going to pull these ones off until I lower this a lot closer to the ground. So I got to lower this down to where I can basically move the jacks out of the way and only have one jack, because right now the whole trailer's up off the ground. Get this so it's where it's barely off the ground, and then I'm gonna swap these tires. I'm going to move those rear ones to the forward and the forward ones to the rear, because the forward ones wear a lot quicker, and these ones have a little more life in them, so we're just going to swap them so we save our tires. But there you go. I'll finish swapping this up and we'll be done with the video, but that's how you change out your U-bolts. Alright, let me know down in the comments if you have any questions or comments, and make sure you hit that like button. But I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up before we shut the video off. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it helped you. Showed you how to change those U-joints when they break. It is a little bit of a pain trying to find those. I had to find a specialty store that would actually make them, bend them to size. So I encourage you to go ahead and like this video if you enjoyed it. Don't forget to comment down below, share it with your friends, and remember to subscribe. Thank you, appreciate it.